It's 24 minutes to 8 o'clock, and this is the Wednesday edition of Morning News Today on ANC. It is back to school. That's the first day of school for millions of grade 1 pupils.
But the Bishop Lavis Action Community is protesting outside the Bergville Primary School.
It says the Provincial Education Department is failing their children. Our colleague, ANC reporter Artie Mtongana, is following that story for us. Good morning, Artie. Can you just tell us what's the latest, what's happening at that school now? We understand there's a protest.
Yeah, well, more than a protest, it's actually a picket to raise the issues that this school faces. It is a primary school in a community that is plagued by a lot of poverty as well as gangsterism. Now, the group behind us has already started arriving. They're expecting about 70 protesters who'll be picketing outside the school. And it's actually not a shutdown, Braden. They said to us that they'll be picketing. They will be allowing pupils to be entering the schools, but the schooling will not continue until 9 o'clock. And I have with me Victor from the Bishop Lavis Action Community, which has partaken in this shutdown. Now, tell us why, number one, you called it a shutdown, and what are the issues that are facing this particular primary school?
We are calling it a shutdown because we are saying that there can be no normal schooling in an abnormal society. We are saying that because from 7 till 9 o'clock there will be no normal schooling taking place within this community. And the reason for this is simple. The principal of this school, Mr. Alim Abrams, have written to the Education Department on numerous occasions asking for additional support staff, asking for additional teachers at the school. None of those requests that he has ever made has been answered from the Western Cape Education Department. You know, we are sitting with a school which is in a gang-infested area. There is no access control at the school. The school is being vandalized on a myriad of occasions, you know, and we need some law enforcement at the school as well. There's also no psychosocial support that is being provided by the Western Cape Education Department, because imagine this kid before he comes to school, he witnesses somebody being shot 19 times. He has to sit within a classroom, within a maths classroom, and be expected to understand what is going on. The Western Cape Education Department is setting our kids up for failure. And the matric results, you know, what it actually shows is that more than half of the kids drop out before they sit for their final examination, and it starts here at the primary school level.
Now, Victor, gangsterism is not the only issue that is faced by people as well as the pupils in this community. You spoke about the teacher ratio in the school. Tell us about that.
There's one teacher for every 70 learners. How do you expect one teacher to be able to educate 70 learners at any one particular time? There is one, you know, at these primary schools, they have 2 adjacent classrooms, and then they open the middle door in order for that to serve as a hall. That hall will no more be in operation as a hall. It will now be in operation as a classroom, you know, because you cannot fit 70 learners into this particular space that they have there, and this is completely unacceptable. This doesn't happen in your private C, in your ex-Model C schools. It doesn't happen within private schools. It only happens within our working class communities. The Education Department is setting our kids up for failure.
All right, thank you very much, Victor, from the Bishop Lavis Action Community, saying that the Western Cape Education Department seemingly ignores the needs of schools in these communities like Bishop Lavis. We will later on be speaking to the school principal, who said to us that he's using a hall to divide it to be able to accommodate a classroom that will be able to fit in pupils as much as they can. Those are some of the issues that they are facing in this community, and particularly this school, Braden. And later on we will be speaking to the MEC for education here in the Western Cape. Not an easy start for pupils here in Bishop Lavis.
Artie, just on that, not an easy start. Just to clarify, they're calling it a shutdown, but you said they're picketing. They will be allowing people to come in. Is the normal schooling activity expected to happen at this school or not?
Not from now until 9 o'clock. So they'll be staging this picket from now. Well, they actually started at around 7. So from 7 to 9 o'clock, there will be no normal school practices going on inside the school. However, teachers and pupils have been making their way inside. So from 9 o'clock, everything will resume. They're picketing here outside the school to raise awareness and to obviously hand over a memorandum of grievances to the Western Cape Education Department.
Ati, I'd be very interested to know if there are other schools in the area with similar issues, if there are parents with kids in other schools in that area, because there seems to be a community issue. It seems to be that they are upset about what's happening not only inside the school, outside of the school gates, and how it impacts their children as well. Have we heard, do we know how other parents feel, parents with kids in other schools in that area?
Well, part of the work that will be done by this movement here in Bishop Lavis is to rally many other communities. And like Victor said, this is not an issue that only faces this particular primary school behind us. It's many other primary schools and high schools around areas like Bishop Lavis that are continually plagued by gangsterism and the teacher ratio, which seems to be one of the leading issues. Teachers are overworked. Teachers, like Victor said, saying that one teacher would have to go in a classroom and teach about 70 learners alone. So this is not only Bishop Lavis. They were also working on putting in word out there to get other communities to join in. And in fact, the residents behind me who are staging this picket are not only from Bishop Lavis, they're from many other communities which are faced by similar challenges.
Is peaceful as they do that, because it's not just about schooling, it's community issues, and really we shouldn't allow sometimes community issues to affect the future of our school children. That's Tim Tongana on the ground at the Bishop Lavis community there at that school in the Western Cape where there seems to be issues today.